So first thing we are going to start on is our pumpkin cheesecake muffins. That's going to be our first thing. So these things, all these recipes are going to have a very common denominator, which is pumpkin, because it's after Labor Day. So officially in my mind, it is absolutely fall. So everything pumpkin. We're going to do pumpkin cheesecake muffins. We're going to do some pumpkin coffee cake, and we're going to do a pumpkin spice latte. Fun fact, all keto, so we can still indulge. But nonetheless, first things first is going to that pumpkin cheesecake mixture. So I have all my ingredients out. You're gonna need some coconut flour, we're gonna need some eggs, some pumpkin pie spice, some vanilla. We are using the Swerve confectioner's sugar. If you have the Lakanto, you can use that. Or if you just had the granulated and you wanted to throw that, sorry about my nails, if you wanted to throw that into the food processor and powder it down, you can do that as well. We have 100% pure pumpkin. This is going to be the denominator in all our videos, okay? Make sure it's 100% pure pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie mix, okay? That has a ton of sugar in it. And that's what we're going to use, okay? We're going to need some heavy whipping cream. I will link all these recipes down below. We're going to need 2 tablespoons of butter. This is just the Kerrygold butter. And 3 ounces of cream cheese. This is the Kraft cream cheese. And we got to have some baking powder. Yeah, so nonetheless, let's go ahead and get this started. And, oh, I want to show you one other thing that I got. For the actual muffins, I picked these up for Home Goods just to make it a little festive, and I figured it would be cute for the girls to have, just to kind of keep them in the mood for during school. So I thought maybe they could have these for breakfast in the morning some days, or maybe even a dessert. But yeah, these are just these little ball ones. I usually get all into this. So, and then we have our cupcake tin. So, all right, let's go ahead and get our ingredients ready. Right here, I have just a big mixing bowl. I will say this, I'm using stuff that I like to use. They did ask for melted coconut oil. I don't like the way coconut oil tastes. I think it tastes very coconutty, so I don't usually like to cook with it. So I'm just gonna use some extra virgin olive oil. You can use vegetable oil. You can use coconut oil if you want. But this is how I'm gonna do it. We are gonna go ahead and go in with a half of a cup of the coconut oil. And we're going to just go ahead and put that in here. And then right here I have just my melted 2 tablespoons of butter. And then we are going to just mix this together really quickly, and I'm just going to leave this on the side. Okay, so that's ready to rock and roll. Now I'm going to take my eggs. I'm taking 5 eggs. We're going to dump them into our bowl here. Right. I'm going to add the Swerve confectioner's sweetener. This is going to be 1.5 cups of that. All right, so we have the 1.5 cups of the Lakanto powdered sugar in there. Next up is going to be the pure pumpkin. Remember, 100% pure pumpkin, not pumpkin pie. We're going to take 1 whole cup of that. So I'm just spooning it out here into my measuring cup. So that's, this is just a half a cup measurement, so we're going to do 2 1/2s obviously to get 1 whole. All right, so I'm going to go in with some pure vanilla extract, if you guys can see here, and I'm going to take 1.5 teaspoons of that. Next up is the heavy hitter. This is that pumpkin pie spice. You guys need to have this for all the fall treats. We're going to take 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon. And then we're going to mix this all together. I have a whisk, but I'm just gonna use a spoon for right now. I keep a plate right here, or like a little bowl or whatever, and that's how I mix up everything. Or I keep all my garbage there. Okay, so now we're gonna add in that butter olive oil mixture. I'm gonna go in, this is just some coconut flour. We're gonna take a half a cup of coconut flour, half a cup of coconut flour, and then we're gonna go in with 2 tablespoons as well. We're gonna use some baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of that, and then a half a teaspoon of salt. This is just the muffin mixture, okay? So if you didn't want to add the cream cheese, then you could just leave it as this, but we're going to do a cream cheese swirl inside our muffins. All right, so for the cream cheese mixture, I have that 3 ounces of the cream cheese. This is that Kraft cream cheese. We're going to take 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream. And then what I do is I go in and I just wipe off my measuring spoons here. We're gonna go in with that powdered swerve, and we're gonna do 1.5 tablespoons of that. And we're using that vanilla extract again. I like these recipes just because it's basically very similar ingredients, so it's nothing too expensive. I don't like when these recipes cause for like a lot of the like different extracts or like oatmeals and stuff like that. I'm not here for that. So we're just gonna mix this up. The cream cheese is at room temperature. That's why it's easy for me to kind of mix it up. But, ooh, it smells so good. You could have even threw this in the microwave a little bit if you wanted to. I didn't. I just kind of left it out while I was cooking. And you're just gonna make this mixture here. So I'm going to just dump this mixture in here. And this isn't supposed to be like a liquid. It's because you're gonna want it to be a like cheesecake swirl, right? So we want it to be a little bit thicker, and then it'll melt down too in between all the muffins. So I just threw that in there. If you guys are gonna ask for macros, I don't have any really figured out at this point, just because I'm just kind of doing it. But you just go ahead and figure it out yourself. Use your Fitness Pal or whatever you're using, and then make your recipe and divide it amongst the servings, okay? However muffins you go ahead and create. But you can see right here, I'm just mixing it all together, and that's it. Okay, so we have these paper tins in here, and I was reading them. I'm like, damn, I hope I could cook with them. And they say they're oven safe for up to 375 degrees. So here goes nothing, because we have our oven preheated at 350 degrees, if I didn't say that earlier. So let's give this a whirl. So we're gonna fill these halfway, and these ones are pretty big though. They're a lot bigger than those little ones that you usually would use, a little aluminum ones. So let's fill these bad boys up halfway. All right, so here are the muffins. We ended up making 12 pretty decent sized muffins, okay? And these ones are pretty big. Then I'm gonna go ahead, was it 3, 6, 9, 12? Yeah, 12 of those. And I'm gonna throw these in the oven, 350 degrees, between 18, 22 minutes until they come out clean, basically, okay? But yeah, so let's go ahead and get these pumpkin cheesecake muffins going. Okay, so our muffins just came out. They are beautiful. They're nice, big size. You make sure, like I said, they have kind of a crumbly top. I will say this, guys, I did not do them 100% correct. I was supposed to add like a dollop of cream cheese into each muffin and swirl it, and I just added it into the whole thing. But you know, it's okay. Who really follows directions these days? But yeah, so we're gonna let these cool and try them out. But I'm really excited. They look wonderful, and I like these actually. Look at how nice, like you could see already that they're pulling away. These are giving them a nice shape. So just make sure when you guys get these that you can check the bake time, because I know some baked goods you have to bake them a little bit longer. But we'll get Leo out here to try one, or maybe we'll get Rhea to do it. So, but yeah, there's our muffins. Okay, so here is the pumpkin cheesecake muffin, and Leo's gonna go ahead and try it. But can you do me a favor, Lee? Can you just peel this open on the side to try it, so they could see how well the texture came out?
Just rip it, or does
Yeah,
it
yeah,
like
just separate it, yeah. Wow, those came out really nice, huh? And you could see in there too, there's like the little chunks of cheesecake. These are like some nice thick muffins. This is the first time I'm ever using these muffin cups. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Still nice and warm. Do you want a little Cool Whip on there, or is that good?
I'll try this like that.
But they look so good. These look like the ones that you get from like the stores, no? Yes. Yes. All right, go for it, Lee. Let us know how it tastes. We won't put you on camera though.
It's hot as hell.
It's a little hot. I don't know if they taste like pumpkin. I feel like they taste like...
Tastes like pumpkin.
You think pumpkin? I feel like they taste like... They taste like fall, I guess. So yeah, maybe a pumpkin. But definitely recommend. Look at how the texture and everything. Beautiful. It probably would have been better if we would have had that cheesecake swirl, but you know, learn from me, guys. But here is our pumpkin cheesecake muffins. Next up, we are starting on the like pumpkin, I don't know how to even say it, like pumpkin bars, I guess, and we're gonna do a homemade cream cheese frosting. And right here I have, I believe it's 2 ounces of cream cheese and 1/4 cup of oil. This is the same thing, the extra virgin olive oil. You can use coconut if you wanted, but like I said, I don't like to cook with that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this in the microwave and let it melt together. Okay, so into this bowl, I'm taking 1 whole cup of that pure pumpkin. Again, pure pumpkin, not pumpkin, whatever it's called. Pumpkin pie or whatever stuff. We're gonna take that. We're gonna go in with some vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon, 1 tisp. We're gonna toss that in there. Give that a little, oh, that fell. And we're gonna take 2 eggs. Then we're gonna add in our cream cheese oil mix. Let's scrape off my spoon here. We're gonna go in with a hand mixer and we are going to whip it up. All right, so you're gonna wanna do that until it's nice and smooth, like so. We're gonna set this aside because this is our wet ingredients. So we're gonna go in with some almond flour. This is the Kirkland one. It's my favorite, honestly. We're gonna take 1 whole cup of it. We're gonna take 1 whole cup of that. Sorry about that. We're still working on Benny's barking. Obviously, not that well, but. Then we are going to go in with our sweetener. This is the Sola sweetener. We're gonna use 2/3 cups. Whatever, you know, sweetener you guys use is fine. I prefer Sola. We're gonna go in with 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of the pumpkin pie spice, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Toss that in there. And we're gonna mix this all up. And then we're going to add the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients, and we're going to mix it with our hand mixer on low, okay? So little by little, on low. Okay, so what we're going to use, I know these are supposed to go into like a cake pan, but I wanted to do these in like these little mini loaves, just so I can bring some of them to my mom and dad. And then, oh, nobody. I can bring some of these to my mom and dad, and then they can have them. So I got these little mini loaf pans, and we're gonna fill them up halfway, okay? And go from there, and then I'll top it with the seasoning, or the, not seasoning, you know what I mean, the, whatever it's called. The icing. So just filling these loaf pans up. I pulled out 4 of them, so we'll see. We are gonna bake these at 375 degrees, okay? Until, just like any other baked good, until you can go ahead and stick it with a like toothpick so it comes out clean. Just wanna make sure you're cleaning, you're cooking them all the way through. So then I'm just gonna go ahead and spread out the mixture so there's, everything's even, so nothing's, you wanted to make sure that all the, it's a nice even layer, because then some parts will be cooked all the way through and other parts won't, so we don't want that. And these are gonna rise too, so don't forget. So just gonna go through and I kind of, I just thought it'd be a nice little treat for everyone to have. So I will stick these on a baking dish, or like a baking sheet, and then throw these in the oven for about 30 minutes until, you know, or just check them periodically to make sure that everything's rising. And if it looks like it's starting to crack and dry, then go ahead and temp it with like I said, a toothpick, and see if it comes out clean. But we're gonna do, like I said, these little mini like loaves or whatever. So yeah, these are going to the oven at 375. All right, so right here I have 6 ounces of room temperature cream cheese, so it's pretty soft. I'm gonna take, and I cut it into like cubes. I should probably cut a couple more cubes in there. just to, I mean, I don't know, they said cubes, but that's pretty soft. We're gonna go in with that powdered Swerve. Again, you can use whatever you got, but I just go with Swerve. We're gonna take a half a cup of that. We're gonna take 1 whole tablespoon of heavy whipping cream. This is going to be the frosting, okay? And then we're gonna go in with that vanilla extract, and we're gonna take 1 teaspoon of that. Toss that in there. And then we're gonna use our hand mixer and we're gonna whip it. And here is our cream cheese icing, okay? So you guys can see, it's nice and whipped up, easy to spread. And now we just have to wait for our pumpkin bars to be done. All right, my friends, we are here. We are icing our cakes here. I'm using this spoon. I don't know why I'm using this spoon, but you know me. There's a hard way, I'll take it. But I had to let these cool. I tried to do it before they were cool and it was a mess. So let them cool. And then give them a nice little coating of the icing. Which is, I like these too because you can also just throw them away when you're done. But here is how our little cake is looking. All right, we're gonna get ready to try this. Dog just startled me and I dropped my damn piece of cake. All right, so here is our, Ray is walking around the house in Doc Martens. Can you hit the screen so it can,
autofocus?
yeah, you just gotta touch where the cake is. Up, 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 where the cake is, there you go. All right, so here is the pumpkin bars with the cream cheese frosting. We're gonna let Rhea try it. It's homemade cream.
Ooh, it's moist.
Rhea.
Damn,
It's good? Look at, I made little ones so we can send some to Papa and Grandma.
it's good actually.
You like it?
Mm-hmm. That's really
You wanna try a piece, Becky?
I don't know I'm gonna like it. I never tried pumpkin.
Okay.
It doesn't have much of a pumpkin taste. It's more of a, it kind of reminds me a lot of carrot cake.
I never tried carrot cake either.
It's really good.
Okay, we'll just try it.
More cinnamony,
Mm-hmm.
kind of.
It tastes like fall. What do you think, Beck?
Good.
Michael's and like a cake.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, definitely recommend. Definitely let them cool all the way though. These ones are still a little warm, so they're falling apart. But the frosting is really, really good. All right. What do you think, Becky? Should we tell them to make it?
Yeah.
Tell them it's good, friends.
Good friends.
It's good, friends. All right, my friends, so there you go. Delicious. Definitely recommend. I'm just gonna go and finish up frosting these other 2 so I can send them over for my dad. And yeah, so I love it. Definitely would recommend this one. This would be really good just for a good breakfast too. These would be a nice little breakfast to have. I think so. I like having sweet stuff for breakfast. But recommending to you, my friends. So then we'll finish this up and then I'll be back with our pumpkin spice latte. Lastly, we are going to make the keto version of a pumpkin spice latte, you know, like the Starbucks one, PSL is life, all the things. Fun fact, I don't particularly care for the pumpkin spice latte, but I'm gonna try this out, see if it's good. I like pumpkin pie, it's just those lattes I think are kind of gross. But, so we have all of our ingredients here. We're gonna use, again, the pure pumpkin, some pumpkin pie spice, some heavy whipping cream, some pure vanilla extract. We are going to use some almond milk. This is the unsweetened vanilla almond milk. Make sure you get it unsweetened. We're going to use some of the Swerve confectioner sugar. We got some of this Cool Whip. This is the sugar-free one. If you can get the one that's less in carbs, I think this is 3. But if you can find one that's less, this is all my grocery store had at the time. You use that just for a top. That's also optional. And we're going to use some coffee. This is the Starbucks Sunrise Roast. We're gonna just brew this in our Instapot, and we're gonna do 4 ounces of that. So we're gonna throw that in, and you're also going to need a blender. So this is a little extra like steps or whatever, but we're just gonna go ahead and get down with it. So while I'm making this, I'm gonna go ahead and brew this coffee. All right, we're gonna go in with the unsweetened vanilla almond milk. We're gonna take 1/3 of a cup of that and toss that into our cup here for blending. Try not to spill. The pumpkin pie spice. This is just the little guy here. We're gonna take a half a teaspoon of that. Go in with the Swerve confectioner. We're gonna go in with 2 tablespoons of that. And we're gonna start going in with the liquids. We're gonna go in with the vanilla extract. And we're gonna take 1 teaspoon of that. Vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon. We're going in with the heavy whipping cream. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. And then lastly, we're gonna go in with the pumpkin puree and the 100% pure pumpkin, and we're gonna do 1 tablespoon. I'm gonna toss that in there. Don't forget, if you have extra, save that for your dog. We're gonna put the lid on. Give it a little shake here just to blend everything, and then we're gonna blend it. So this next step is optional. You could either take this little mixture and put it in the microwave to heat it up, but I'm going to throw mine in my frother because it froths it and heats it up, okay? So we're just gonna go ahead and hit start. And there you go. So let's let that do its thing, and it's gonna heat it up as well, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so we have our coffee, and we have our froth here, our pumpkin pie froth. I'm gonna take our Cool Whip and measure out just 1 dollop. And then I'm going to top it with a little bit of the pumpkin pie spice. So let's give this a whirl, but I think it looks nice. Got a little bit of the little sprinkle on there. You can see the separation for the latte portion. Let's try it. It's good. It's good, but I need it to be a little bit more sweet. So I probably would add just a couple packets of stevia in it because I don't like my coffee to taste like coffee. I like it to be real sweet. But it definitely has like that pumpkin flavor, but it's not overly pumpkin where I feel like it's like syrupy when you get it from Starbucks. But if this was just a little bit sweeter, I think it would be perfection. Yeah, so I definitely would add, just like I said, a little bit more sweetener to it, and then go from there. Benny. But definitely, I think I recommend it. I think it tastes good, but it just needs to be a little bit sweeter. But if you don't like overly sweet coffee, this probably would be perfect for you. I like it too because then you know what's in it. You don't have to worry about them using a bunch of junk and sugar and stuff like that. And it honestly, it'll save you money in the long run. So I think those drinks are like $5 or $6 each. And I think you can buy all the ingredients for $5, and then you could have multiple cups of coffee. So, Keto Pumpkin Spice Latte. There you go. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video and deal with this chaos around the house. If you guys liked this video and you wanna see more fall-inspired keto eating videos, please let me know down below. And I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, friends.